The ROSAMOND News, in an effort to keep actively serving military personnel around the world up to date with what's happening in Rosamond in 93560, we are offering to send them a free electronic subscription to the ROSAMOND eNEWS every week. That way they can look at it on their iPhone or their iPad or in the Post Computer Center. And so I'm just wondering what the local Post would think of an idea like that.
Well, personally I think it's a good idea. We receive copies of the hard copy ROSAMOND News and we keep it here at the Post. A number of people read it. Having it available in an online form, most everybody has one of the little iPhones or iPads or something that would get that.
Well, it's Saturday morning, June 5th, here at Rosamond High School. It's a 5K run.
Lopez, Lance Corporal, and he was a runner. And those of you that lived in Rosamond for a while, when he was on leave, he was always running. And he went to war in shape. And so we're doing this in honor of him and all the Marines with him and his family. We want to honor and remember them. We also want to honor Joey's faith, and many of you heard about his text message about his faith in God, and we think that's really important. So again, we're thankful that we can stand here at this high school and say that God was a big part of Joey's life.
I want to, honor all the servicemen. There's still there's still a lot of them that are still overseas, and I just keep them in prayer. And for Keto Company, I know how much it meant for my son, and I really appreciate you guys. You guys are family, and just God bless you guys, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.
Charlie, it looks like you got a really good crowd out today.
It was great. It was great. A great turnout and great community support.
Good. And how many do you think were here?
I think there's about 200 participants.
I'm a student in Test Pilot School Class 10 Bravo, soon to graduate. And I came out here to help honor, one of our fallen brothers in arms and compete in a really neat race.
How did you find the race?
It was good. I mean, I haven't ran for a while, so coming back and running this time, it helps. I'm gonna keep running now again.
What brought me out here was Lance Corporal Lopez. I watched him come home, and I didn't forget that experience. And having spent many hours watching Marines in Afghanistan and supporting them and deploying there myself, that's what brought me out here.
What kind of a race was it? Had you run that course before?
Actually, no. There's a course similar to that. It's our cross-country course, actually, for here. So.
Right. So you'd run it before?
Parts of it, yes, I have.
Stu Witt announced today during the Mojave Spaceport Museum that the green volt concentrated photovoltaic panels here are up and running, generating 55 to 68 kilowatts which will make the main administration building free of an electric bill forever.
We are working with the state of Florida and the 45th Space Wing out of the Eastern Range, Cape Canaveral / Kennedy Space Center. We've got a contract with them to do a number of flights. They are trying to recruit us. However, based on a whole bunch of things, we found that really Mojave is the place where we want to do research and development. And Stu and the entire staff here at the airport has been very supportive of it, so we're going to stay here and continue doing research and development here. And we'll be doing operations activities at our spaceports as well, as we try to grow the business and become successful. We're approaching 100 flights.
Flights. Not counting static tests, tethered runs.
That includes the tether. That includes the tether flights.
Okay, but
basically where the vehicle takes off under its own power and controls itself, we are at 100 flights.
100 flights. But this is our opportunity to have our own voice in Washington specific to this industry. Now that we have broadened internationally and taken on Boeing, Northrop, United Launch Alliance, and Lockheed this year as membership, the base of the organization has grown, and it was time to hire a real executive director and not a person doing part-time 10% of their time. So the board in December met at Bigelow Space, Bob Bigelow's location in North Las Vegas in December for one day, and at that meeting they took action to go out on an executive search and hire a real chief executive on a 2-year contract for the Commercial Spaceflight Federation. We hired Rear Admiral Craig Steidle. Now, I didn't dream at that time, at that meeting, that my nomination would make it through to the finish line and result in the hiring of Craig Steidle.
Our dump station, report on that, in the last couple of weeks we've had 48 dumps, and that equates to about $480.
Unfortunately, on Wednesday evening, about 8 o'clock, the Skatepark BMX park at the corner of Rosamond Boulevard and Eagle Way is closed. The problem is vandalism to the jumps and the ramps. And it's the judgment of the RCSD staff that until the skateboarders police themselves and prevent the vandalism, the park will not be repaired and opened. The ramp here is blocked off and marked with yellow twine because the lip was pulled up by the skateboarders and is not usable.
We're going to record your comments, but we're going to ask you, we're going to engage you at these 5 or 6 points, like what do you see happening here? Or how do you feel about this vacant lot? Or how do you feel about the street being unlit? The types of questions that you just responded to, you're going to actually get to go into the field and actually point out specific locations in the downtown that you feel in particular need immediate assistance or need immediate help. And this is called the sunburst honey locust. And I'll tell you why this sunburst honey locust.
It's a locust tree.
And the reason it's so popular, I'm going to tell you the several reasons. First of all, the litter. The litter literally goes away, goes into, and that will decompose like within 3 or 4 months. It's all gone. No sweeping has to occur. So if you have a shop, you don't have to sweep. Number 2, it's not what they call root evasive. Most of the time when you put street trees in sidewalks, you cut a hole in the sidewalk and you put it in there. Now, I'm sure you've been to downtowns and old parts of LA. The roots have started to buckle those sidewalks up. This tree doesn't do that. The last reason this tree is so good, and I'll tell you the reason merchants love it, I call this the most merchant-friendly tree, is because you can see through the canopy. You can see signage through the canopy. So this tree is what I would call, has the perfect 3 things that almost every downtowner likes.
And the 4th reason is that the ground resistance got very small leaves.
And it's very, and it is on almost everybody's list of low water using trees.